Hello. I don't know how I was going to start this. I just clicked start capture with absolutely no idea what I was planning to say. This is Pickups video number 72. Not subtitled. What's the word? Subheaded shit ups. I think the amount of time since my last one is directly proportionate to how shit the pickings have been, because they have Jesus Christ. I'm cutting out duplicates generally, unless they're like absolute proper no-brainers. Any sort of mid-level stuff, mid-range stuff. You know, I saw a Dino Crisis 2. I didn't pick that. I left it, and you know, things like that. And you know, because that just gets just pointless. Just showing duplicates all the time. I've been spending money on other things. You might have noticed in my last video that there was a slight difference in the background, because the cabinet went a long time ago. It went to this, I don't know what they are. They're like a recycling place. I don't think they're a charity. You give them a $5 and they come to take it away, and then they sell it on. Which, if you think about it, it's a bloody good way to make money. You know, because you're getting money twice. People pay you to take it away. So if you've got a van and a garage and you want to start a business, do that, because then you can sell stuff out of your garage, make a fortune. But it's not there anymore. Apparently they took it away, and they took it to this showroom place, and it's not there anymore, because I've been there since. It's gone. So I'll talk about that in a minute. What's there now? Yeah, my last video, I have said that I'll take it down, but I've had a rethink, and I've never been a fan of taking videos down, because I like to take responsibility for my actions. And if I was to take it down, it would feel like I was, you know, it shouldn't have gone up in the first place. And you know, I sort of stand behind everything that I said in the video. I mean, certain things, like for instance, the way Woodland 37, the way it made him feel, I really feel bad about that, and I apologise to Carl. I apologise to, because it was a bit like, you know, that was never what I intended. But everything else, I sort of, you know, stand behind it, everything I said. So I take responsibility for the way I put it across, and my actions and my words. So in that sense, I'd like it to stay, even though it was old news when I uploaded it. But I think I retained the right to reply, and I think we all should, and that's part of the point of the video is that we all have the right to reply, even though, you know. Anyway, yeah, I'll shut up about that. But I've also I don't like to censor people, and people have left comments on the video, and who am I to? They've put their words out into the world, and who am I to remove those words from? You know, they're comments on my video, but that's not to say that I still have control over them. So I won't delete the video for that reason, because all those, you know, comments that people have left, and sort of the video that they've taken time to watch and to take in, and you know, the comments that they've made, they will stay. What I will do, I think, I'll probably put it to private or something until it's sort of, I've made a few more videos and it's further down the list, you know. Because I mean, then people won't. It's still getting views. Probably no one gets beyond a few minutes, because Jesus Christ, 43 minutes or whatever it is. But so I'll probably do that. But I just wanted to. I didn't take it down straight away because I wanted to let people know about my intentions. That's pretty much, anyway. So that's that. Videos like that are too stressful. I won't make a habit of them, but I won't be scared to put across my point of view and to have my say, And no one should be intimidated into keeping quiet. That was part of the message. But anyway, what now? Yes, that's what I want to show you. There's my cat. I don't know if you can see him. Where am I? Oh yeah. This might be awkward because I've got wires all over the place. How are we looking? I had no idea what Cam was seeing. There you go. This thing. It's my new purchase. I've got a few actually. I've got the frames. I was going to talk about those. They were in the back of the last video, but they're just frames for my. I can't really. I can't. Hang on. Let me open the. Jesus Christ! What cowboy. The frames. They're going to go up on that wall. I think. I would like to keep that clear so I can project something on it. Yeah. But it's not a brilliant surface. But no, those pictures. They're Olympics pictures. They're 3 artists who they're posters. 3 artists who were commissioned to make images for the Olympics. But yeah, in front of it, this is my I've turned into a a cheap IKEA furniture making maniac motherfucker. I've got a taste for cheap IKEA furniture, but no, actually this one, I quite like this one. I just wanted to show you it because I think this will do me fine. The PS1 games, that constitutes about 2/3 of my PS1 collection, and I could fit all of it on there. That's about 120 games there. Those PS1 games, I think there's about 30 in each. 30 or just under 30 in each section. So that would be about 180 games in total. But that's just a selection of games. And I've got the PS1 ones, the PS2 ones at the bottom. But no, I like this. It's from IKEA, and like I said, I like it because it's not too deep. Sometimes you get like shelves that are really deep, and so things sit at the back. But it gives you space for like a double stacking, but I've never liked double stacking. I like easy access. And also I've been able to adjust the shelves so that there's not too much wasted space above the games. But the top and the middle shelf aren't the same width. So there's more space but above the games on the middle shelf, which I don't really like. I'd prefer it if the gap was like that on the top shelf, just enough to get your finger in. So I can get really, really obsessive about it. Really proper like nut job obsessive. But I've got some nice frames as well to put stuff in. But that's going upstairs. It's not staying there. And I'm looking to get another one of those. And then I might put the rest of my PS1 games on the bottom, but I don't really know. I quite like it how it is. I like the weird uniformity, obsessive uniformity. One of the PS2 games, again, that's about half of my PS2 collection. So they're pretty much about the same size, the collections, and they're sort of my most cherished part of my all the games that I've got. But the PS2 games, there's a couple in there. I think Shin Megami Tensei DD Saga 2 Special Edition comes with the soundtrack case, and Star Ocean comes with an extra DVD, and I usually keep those together. But it sort of it like broke up the line, you know, that line there like that, which I don't really like the look of. So I've taken those out, and that's sort of, you know, I can get really weirdly obsessive about this stuff, but yeah, I'm probably going to get another one of those. So, and I like the low level. I don't like it when they get too high because they sort of dominate the room. I think when it's down low like that, it doesn't show so much that they take control. I think a big old fuck off bookcase and right to the top is really dominating, but this one it's not so controlling. It doesn't have so much of a grip over your life so much, you know. It's a part of it. It's like the bottom shelves in a supermarket, you know. Did you know this actually? If you go to a supermarket, you read the shelves like in the West we read a book from left to right, don't we? You go to the shelves in the supermarket, all the stuff they want you to buy will be eye height and at the far right of a section. So you read from left to right across the section and your eye ends on the far right. Eye height. That's the stuff they want you to buy. It's all those slight bits of manipulation that really get you thinking about how these places work. But I think using the same principle, because this is quite low down, it's sort of like the adverse of that principle, because this is quite low down. It doesn't really have so much of a hold over me or grip, you know. It's a part of it. It's part of what I like and what I like, you know, what I do, but it's not dominating, which is the point I'm labouring to make. But there you go. So I'm going to put you back now. I have to slip you into your spot, and we'll continue on and pop you in there. There you go. Yeah, we're fine. What now? Wait there. Hey, hey. Exertions. Pardon me, excuse me. I've got a few things to ask people. I've been trying to get Skype to work properly, video calls, and I've been trying to get the Google Hangout, the Google Plus Hangout thing to work as well. But it's just like I can get a video feed to both. For Skype, I think actually it's for both of them. Because I'm actually trying to use my video camera. That's the problem I'm having. I'm trying to use my video camera in the same way that I'm making this video, hooked up to the hard drive via a FireWire cable. But for whatever reason, Skype doesn't recognise that as a webcam, and so I had to download an extra program and install this thing called SplitCam. It's free and it's a bit crap, but it serves the purpose that Skype and the Google Hangout thing recognise my camera. I can get a video feed. The downside is that for some reason it doesn't recognise the mic, so there's no sound. And I was wondering if anybody can give me some advice as to why that might be and how to get around it. I don't know. It's weird. I've not really got any other mics, and I think I've spoken about it in the past because there's been, you know, thoughts of doing sort of podcasts and things, and I thought, yeah, I'm gonna get myself a mic. I've never really got round to it, but I obviously probably do need one if I ever wanted to use that. I just wondered if anybody had any advice, or you know, if they can tell me why for some reason Skype or Google Plus recognise the video feed but not the audio feed from my camera. You know, it doesn't recognise what it's getting from the mic, because it's a decent mic and it's an old camera. It's from about 2000 odd, but the mic itself is good quality, so it's irritating. It irritates me that it doesn't do the job in that sense. But so if anybody can give me some advice, I'll be very grateful. And also, through me farting around trying to use Skype I've realised it's taken me 3 years that I can actually make I can actually make videos when it's dark, because I get sick of having to move around the sun, because day like today it's not so bad because there's a lot of light. I'm sitting in front. You've seen the window. I sit in front of the window. A lot of light comes in, which should do. But sometimes it's too much. Sometimes it's like direct sunlight, and that doesn't do any good because it creates a contrast. And sometimes it's really dark. Sometimes it's too light. I need it sort of diffused. And sometimes it's too grey. It's grey today, but there's just enough. Sometimes it's too grey, and that shows up on the camera, on the image. And other times, like I tried yesterday to make a video, but it was strong sunlight. It was a nice day. It was strong sunlight, and I pulled my curtains across, and it diffused the light, but it wasn't enough really. It was too dark. Even though you could see me, but it wasn't sufficient. It didn't. I wanted more light, so to speak. I'm a bit picky when it comes to things like that. So I left it. I experimented with old lamps and stuff. I took lampshades off lamps, and discovered that once the sun had gone down and everything was dark, I've got a lamp directly behind my camera, and I had the light, the ceiling light on. The image was pretty good. Almost like the quality. I mean, because I'd taken time to think about lighting, the quality of the image was better than I normally get. And I think that's a tip, really. I think it's a tip for anyone. If you're worried about the quality of your camera footage, maybe sort of think about how you light the image, because it can improve. That's what I've discovered. It can improve the quality of the image. So it's like you learn every day, don't you? And so that, in a roundabout way, what I'm saying is that I might start making more videos at night because I can get a better image. Jesus Christ, that took a long time to say, didn't it? Gee. Anyway, on to the main meat and potatoes of this video. Excuse me. Shit-ups, pickups. My shitty pickups, shit-ups. I'm coining that phrase, that's my phrase. It's 3:30 on whatever date. What's the date today? March 4th, 5th? Anyway, shit-ups, that's mine. Copyright. Yeah, the pickings have been slim beyond belief. That's right. Pickings have been slim. I had a lot. I had over 10, 12, 13 PS1 games for the replacement cases, and I thought to myself, blimey, I don't really need these many, do I? And the pile was massive because I already had some. I had about sort of 10 already. So in the end, probably had about 25, a big pile of 25 replacement PS1 cases, and I don't really need them. But then putting all that together behind you, I got a little bit obsessive because I started noticing the defects, the cracks. So I went through all of those, all 120 games odd, and replaced all the cases that had the tiniest little cracks in them, and any ones that had significant scratches. So it did pay. My obsessiveness about picking up replacement cases did end up paying. So, but anyway, so I got a lot of replacement cases. I didn't really pay more than about 50p. I think they range from about 20 to 50p, which can't complain. Actually, no, there's some of you were cheaper than that, but can't really complain about that. On the sort of not so much the downside, as a repercussion of that, I've got a lot of games that are loose. They've got front cover, back cover, manual mostly, and a disc. And last time I had that, I just put them in a big DVD wallet, massive, and it turned into, it was just huge by the end. By the time it's full of games, it was massive, like a breeze block. I gave it to a charity shop near my nan's, so I wouldn't have to see it like every time I went into a charity shop around there. So, because that'd be really annoying, seeing the same old crap, getting excited that they'd got some new stuff, and then realising no, it was the crap that I'd given them. But so I've got piles, big piles. I've got piles. I've got piles instead of piles. Piles of games. Shut up. It's all down there. I've accumulated over the months. So there, some decent ones, a lot of shit. There's one crappy snooker game in this pile. I was thinking of what I'll do in the future. I'll just go through them, and they're up for grabs. Probably for people who watch, people who generally watch and comment on my videos. I'll just put them in a box. Like I said, they're a mix of lots of sports games, but some half decent things. Xena, a couple of James Bond racing games. What's that one? Ace Combat, Colin McRae Rally. Yeah. What's it? Yes. Weakest Link. Like I said, they'll be free, so it's it's either they're either going to go to charity, and these are the ones. The games that came in the cases that I've bought recently and just sort of claimed. So this has got this on the top. It's got a platinum version of Wipeout 2097, Speed Freaks, RC Stunt Copter, Crash Bash. I don't think Crash Bash has got a manual though. Crash Bash is a half decent game, but that's them there. So in the end, I've got this big pile of games that would otherwise go to charity, and I can. I'll go through them in a later video, and whoever wants them can have a crack. Can have them. Not all of them, but if you want a few, and then the rest will go to charity. These are the two games that I had. Actually, two of the cases, the slightly better games. So I've got Tekken and Tomb Raider. So obviously, because they're replacement cases, then they're bashed. Tomb Raider doesn't have a manual, but I suppose I could lump them in with play with the same lot if anybody wanted them. Those are for later. I bought these. I love maths. I love spelling. Oh, he's happy, isn't he? So's he. I've not tried them. No, they're PC games. They're PC games, and they were only 10p from Cash Generator. Obviously, I think you can put two and two together, and they're essentially PS1 cases. There's lots of different variations of PS1 cases. Actually, there's one coming up here. Actually, you get these style, but they don't always have the hologram. You get the old double cases that don't have a hologram. You get double cases that do have holograms. You get the standard ones with holograms, standard ones without holograms. So, I don't know. I think there's about sort of 6 or 7 different iterations of a PS1. Cardboard ones. You get cardboard ones as well. There's a few games. I think you can get Mortal Kombat 3 in the cardboard, and is it Warhawk? There's a few others. There's quite a few, but. So I got these basically as replacement PS1 cases. So these I love spelling and I love maths can also be claimed by anyone who wants them. In with the other lot of games that I'll be given anyway. Proper actual purchases now. from a charity shop. This is a strange one. This is a bit personal to me, really, and applicable to this case because it came in the same sort of case. It's Jonah Lomu Rugby. So look, same case. This one's got a crack, so I can swap it out. I used to have this. I don't think I've really mentioned in the past. I used to play rugby. I used to play for Saracens. Reached quite a decent standard. Never got beyond like sort of age group rugby. It reached sort of like Colts, and sort of I gave up when I was about 17, 18 when it started getting serious, and everybody else grew, and I stayed the same size, and you know it got serious, and I'll get like squashed every game, which gets old. But I did think about almost instantly. I stopped playing. I thought about starting up again, but then left it too long, and then by that time I was too long out of it, and it's always something I regretted. I wasn't the best player. I had my strengths and weaknesses. I could run. That was probably my main strength, and I could kick, but I couldn't tackle and I couldn't pass. If I could tackle and pass, I could pass on my right hand, but I couldn't pass on my left hand. I'm not ambidextrous. But we played at a decent standard. It was like just age group rugby with Saracens. Played with some good players. My claim to fame is scoring a try against a team containing. Oh, almost it was like my direct opposite opponent. I scored against a team containing one-time World Cup winning fullback Josh Lucy, because he was in my age group, and we used to play his team a lot. They were called Chiltern, and they were good, and he was good. You could tell he was good, even then. But I scored against them. I scored against Josh Lucy. Yeah. I hope that's not as good as my life achievements get, but anyway. So yeah, I had a bit of a soft spot for rugby, and this it didn't really address the nuances of rugby, because rugby, you know, it's brutal, and you know it's a brutal game, but it is a lot more nuanced than people give it credit for. A lot more nuanced. I'd say go as far as to say a lot more nuanced than football. I mean, there are certain elements of football that they talk about things like video referees, and they just wouldn't apply because there's too much of a judgment call, and there's more judgment call and nuances in rugby. There's like I won't go into detail, but a game like this is always going to struggle to replicate that. And I remember it being really, really difficult to score a try. You know, you could never run away from. You could maybe get a bit of space, but you could never run away from the defenders. They'd always catch you up. It was really frustrating. But I really wanted to give it another go, because I remember just sort of ditching it, just getting really frustrated with it. But, and surprisingly, it's weirdly collectible. It won't ever go for big bucks, but it sells bizarrely. You know, how often can you say that most versions of a sports game will sell on eBay? Well, this one does generally, and it can reach sort of like £5, £6, £7 on a good day. I mean, you know, and it just as often goes for like a few pence plus postage on top, but still, something. You know, this it's a bit collectible. This, I couldn't say why. I'd have to. I've not actually played against since I've got it, but I'd have to see if it's sometimes when things are collectible like that, it's to do with the game being decent. And also in a charity shop. This actually is a local charity shop. There's one opened up just literally a few months ago, and they've not really had much since until now. But and also Fade to Black, because I really like Flashback on Mega Drive, and I think this is sort of like a pseudo sequel, isn't it? There are certain elements, certain stylistic elements to this which you can see. Obviously, it's never going to compare, and it's a really, really it's actually 209, so it's not so early. But it's a game that I wanted, but you get a lot of the platinum versions. I never wanted the platinum version. I was never going to pay too much for it, but I'm glad to have it in the, I saw it in the charity shop because it was one that I always wanted to nab. But, and like I said, there are certain nods to the Mega Drive game, or the 16-bit game. You go, and that sort of tweaks your nostalgia. But I'm not expecting it to be anywhere near as the quality. I seem to remember it getting half decent reviews when it was first released, but that was when the PlayStation was in its infancy, wasn't it? Moving on. Sorry, I'll leave these to last. Moving on. Non-games. Two Amazon purchases that I've wanted. The Raid. I made a video about that. Well, I mistakenly said that it was from Malaysia, and it's actually Indonesia. I still maintain it's from Malaysia. And Once Upon a Time in Anatolia. This is by, I can never pronounce his name. That name at the bottom. Nuri, that name there. Nuri Bilge Ceylan. Obviously I've butchered it, but he's one of my favourite film directors at the moment. He makes stunning films. Just generally character studies, but just got a beautiful eye for an image. Really highly sort of constructed, painterly. Just anybody who appreciates it. It's not like really obvious vistas and things, but they're just constructed, and the generally overall effect is amazing, and then the acting's always brilliant. I've got two of his films. I've got Uzak and Climates. I think there's been another few, but this one got excellent reviews, so I always wanted to give it a punt. And I tried watching it last week sometime, but it was on Film 4, but it started at like 5 to 12, and it's like 3 hours long, and it's a bit of a stretch if I'm going to stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning reading subtitles. And two films in the charity shop. Archipelago. This is pretty much how it looks. I think this is probably about as far from the taste of the people watching as it's possible to get. This is probably closer to this, but this is a bit more sort of stylistic. This is a bit more sort of social realism, sort of poetic social realism, middle class social realism, really middle class social realism. Because I've seen it, it's pretty good actually. I would read the synopsis, but it just bore people. But I enjoyed it. It's got that Tom Hiddleston guy. Called Archipelago. I wouldn't expect, don't rush out and take a look at it, because I wouldn't expect it to be anybody's cup of tea. And this one, I got this in the same charity shop, both $1.50. Your Highness. I quite like Pineapple Express, and I wanted to give this a shot. I like Danny McBride. I like James Franco in Pineapple Express. He cracked me up. But one of the main reasons I got this is because the director is a guy called David Gordon Green, and his debut, I think his Hollywood debut, was called George Washington, and it was more stylistically like Terrence Malick. I like there's a lot like Beasts of the Southern Wild that I'd made the video about. I saw during the summer, and this is just so far removed from that. It's like Richard Linklater going from making films like Dazed and Confused and Slacker to making School of Rock, or Doug Liman going from making Swingers to making the Bourne films. It's just a massive leap. And this guy, he was gone from being Terrence Malick to being sort of the Farrelly brothers. But it's got middling reviews. It looks like really just like broad humour, but I fancy giving it a crack. But yeah, and also in the charity shop, when I got these, I only had a tenner, and they were complaining that they didn't have any change. The woman ahead of me had a £20 note, and I had a £10 note, and they were like really bitter when I handed them the £10 note, because they'd been moaning to this woman ahead of me that because she had a £20 note, and I was going, I offered to go and get change, but they sort of like blanked me and just took my money, gave me my change, and then, you know, I don't need the stress. I don't need the guilt. Don't give me no guilt, charity shops. You know, I'm trying to do a good thing. Anyway, final few bits from a cash converters. I've not really seen much in cash converters, but I've got Oblivion. It's 50p. Again, they tried to make me feel guilty. I took it to the counter and I went, "Oh, this has been mispriced, but I'll have to sell it to him for that. Yeah, they've mispriced it." It's like, Jesus Christ! Don't try and give me the guilt. I didn't realise it's mispriced, but it's PC. I probably won't be able to run it, but you know, disappointing. But it's brand new, it's sealed, so I'll just probably, if anybody wants it, they can. Anyway, excuse me. I made a bit of a boob in the Blockbuster sale. I got this Onimusha 2 for £1.99. That was £1.40 because they've got 30% off. But in my haste, I read it as Onimusha 4 because there was a bit of a mania in Blockbuster. You know, a bit of a mania because of everything was going a bit mental and there's people like rushing around everywhere. And I wanted to get in on the act, but misread 2 for 4 for 2, 2 for 4, and so now I'm stuck with a duplicate. Not like I did know I had 2, but for some reason I was a bit blind for that short minute. And finally, this is probably the one game that, you know, the best game that I've seen. It's not a brilliant major purchase, but it's £2 for Drakengard 2, which you know, it's a decent mid-range title. Drakengard 2 from a charity shop for £2 in nice nick. And finally, probably my most interesting purchases over these last month or so, from cash converters, some 6-button Mega Drive pads, but I'm very suspicious about them because the cords are really short and they feel really light, and the buttons are really long. You see the size of that button? And most Mega Drive 6-button Mega Drive pads have got slightly rounded buttons, and these are more cylindrical. There was a whole batch. I got really excited. There was a whole batch in this branch of cash converters, but they're all like bound up with a security tag. So I had to take them to the counter to get them untagged, so I could pick them as I wanted. And they were £2. I know that's a decent price, but they're light. So I'm wondering if they might have been like from one of those Blaze Mega Drive, you know, like shitty little Mega Drive things, but they work quite well. They make me better at Street Fighter 2 than I've been in the past, so, you know, as far as that goes, I can't complain. But if anybody can enlighten me about those, because there's slight details which are a bit different from actual 6-button pads. Because I know the Mark 1 6-button pads have really rounded buttons, and they're these feel a lot cheaper. But anybody knows about these, and there were others in the batch that didn't have the Sega logo, but I had to make sure I picked ones that did have. Ah, fuck off! Sorry, come here. As he just stuck his claw in my leg. Doesn't like being ignored. Shit, I just froze for a bit. Not me, the camera. It's going a bit laggy. So I better call it a day because it looks like it's going to, something's going to happen. But thanks for watching. There'll be another video up soon. I've been grinding on XCOM. I'm getting round to it. I'm getting my arse in gear. I've finally bitten the bullet. I've got some balls and I've taken on the challenge of XCOM. So that'll be coming up. Not that too many people are bothered, but anyway. Oh, Jesus, I'm going to cut it off before it gets 40 minutes. So thanks for watching. I hope you've been able to grind your way through it. I apologise if it's a bit of another long one. But next one won't be so long. I promise, it won't be so long. So, thanks for watching and I'll see you later.